All right, kids, it's another week, another episode. This is the We Are One, You Are Two PlayStation podcast, sometimes a video game podcast. I'm your host for all 86 episodes, Rob Fanzo. This is episode 86, right? Yeah, it is. It is. Joined once again by the not so malicious Matt Rhodes.
Hey-o. Also, I liked how you started off with "Hey kids." Like, apparently our demographic is like 12-year-olds.
I know we're probably we have a demographic that's probably like 30 to 50.
Yeah.
So
I would say that's probably more accurate for sure.
Probably more accurate. I couldn't help it. I've been saying "Hey kids" all day. So.
Well, maybe maybe if we talk about some Fortnite today, in a more expanded way, then we'll get those kids to kind of get on board and listen to our podcast.
Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, if you like what you hear, please go share us on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcasting service of your choice. Please share us. Please like us. Please subscribe. Please leave a nice review. That's really appreciated. More than anything, get the word out. Matt, we do have a good show lined up for people this week. Of course, we're going to talk about what we've been playing because we always do that. We're going to talk a little bit about Vampire the Masquerade. We are going to talk about Fortnite. We're going to talk about Ghostwire Tokyo and its creative director, along with some other news. And then we're going to really just dive into that stuff a little bit more. Probably actually talk a little bit about some of the games that are upcoming too, that are coming out that we maybe are excited for as we're getting close to this crunch. And then that'll wrap it up for the week, really.
Sweet.
We'll try and maybe get to the PlayStation blog as well. And so we'll look into that later in the week. Because we are recording a little earlier this week. So we will take care of that, though.
Are.
You will know no difference on the other side. You will think we are one smooth,
except for the fact that you told them now. So now they're going to
Well, that's okay.
Now they're going to closely listen for the edit that Dave does on the back end to see if they can spot the difference. So no pressure, Dave. Yeah,
no pressure. No pressure, Dave. All right. Don't you cut any of this. It's gold. All right. So we're gonna dive into some stuff here. Let's just jump into like we always do with what we've been playing, so that people know that we actually play games and don't just talk about them.
Yeah, we do play games, Robert. You're right. Honestly, I have been semi-busy this week, but of course I made time for some...
With life?
Yeah, with life. You know what I mean? Sometimes that happens. I made time for Fortnite and a little bit, and like I think I played maybe one game of Rocket League. I was mad at myself because both of those things just came out like with new additions of things, like, updates. Fortnite has a huge new map and I've only played it a couple times. I'm just like, I need to make some time for this, like with these new things. But I was mad at myself because I completely forgot about the Stranger Things
Rocket League
crossover with Rocket League. Yeah, I was like, "What, you dummy? You could have been earning candy corn playing Rocket League." So I got
a little surprised you forgot about that.
Yeah, I completely forgot, like an idiot. But I think I did play a little Cuphead in there as well before I went to bed.
Oh yeah. I guess I did touch Cuphead this week too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think it's one of the few games that I'm ahead of you in.
You might be. It's 2 years old, so I think we can spoil it. But I just finished the Candy Lady that I had been complaining to you about for like a week.
You just finished her? Congratulations.
And so I'm good there. I'm trying to think what else I have left to do.
I'm in World 3 already.
Oh, okay, then you are definitely ahead of me.
Yeah.
You are definitely ahead of me. There's no bones about that one there.
Yeah, I've been playing it a lot. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's super frustrating, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite games that I've played this year. And I would say my game of the year, but I would feel weird calling it game of the year since it came out 2 years ago. But I guess it can be my game of the year, right? If I'm just now playing
I mean, we established that last year. that we were like, well, this game is new to me, so it's can still win your game of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Is that all you've been playing then?
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there was any other like little indie games. Maybe I forgot about this last week, but I mean, I played my friend Pedro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You didn't mention that. Yeah. I was wondering if you had touched that yet.
Yeah, I have a little bit. It's very interesting. It's way more involved than I thought it was. Like, it's super easy starting out, and then you're like, oh, this gets real hard real quick.
Yes.
And you
it
have
takes
to
a lot
spin
of talent
to dodge things, and you have to like make sure your ammo is good. Like, I had a really great streak going like almost the whole length of the level, and then I ran out of ammo. I was so mad.
Yeah, so it's one of those games that like it's good, it's easy to play, and you can play it and get through the levels. But if you want to look talented, like you do see in some of the videos, it's like a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. So, but yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago now. But yeah, what about you, Rob? What are you playing?
Well, I've been playing. I didn't forget about Rocket League like you did. I actually remembered, but my problem was that every time I look at my PlayStation, I'm like, oh, Code Vein's sitting there. And so I've sunk a lot into Code Vein, like a lot. It's not even funny how much time I've sunk into Code Vein. It's just so good. And again, it's one of those ones that what I think I like about it is that if I wanted to play it like Dark Souls and run around by myself and get destroyed and have to really, really work hard to get good, I could do it. But because I can choose a partner to run around with, I don't feel the need. So I just run around with like Yakumo or with Mia or Io, and I just literally obliterate everybody together with them. And so
that's awesome.
I'm really enjoying it. Like, just for that reason. And then the story is so over the top and ridiculous. It's just really good. So and we're going to talk about it because it actually charted last month. And so we'll talk about that too. But so I've been playing a lot of that, playing some Remnant from the Ashes. I'm almost finished with that. That's still one of my top games of the year, easily. Astral Chain, another one of my top games of the year. I got back into it today. I had some spare time at work today, and I was like, you know what? I need like a 15-minute break. Astral Chain. So I did that. Cuphead, Blood Hockey, and then the other thing I fired up was Sayonara Wild Hearts. Have you heard of that?
I have not. No.
Okay, so it's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, and it's on I think it's on Xbox too, and it's very colorful.
Yeah,
it's a kind of a music rhythm type game because you're riding through levels on a bike, grabbing little like diamonds, and music's blaring in the background. You have to like grab them and score certain scores and everything like that. But what I love about it is it feels like you're playing a giant music video. And so
that's cool.
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's like playing a giant animated music video. Like if I were to make a music video with like swords and fights on motorcycles and like, cool like action sequences that are kind of also cartoony and like very stylish, and then have some awesome music in the background, that would be it. And so it's actually been my go-to kind of chill game this week because it's something that's, while you can rank up your score and score as high as you possibly can in each level to earn like the gold star or whatever it is, the gold whatever. Mm-hmm. I like it because you can I don't really care if I earn those or not. I can just drive through a level, have some great music going, and some timing with button presses. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like a weird rhythm action game.
Cool.
And it's definitely worth, your couple of bucks. I forget how much it was. I think it was like $7 or something when it first came out. So it's definitely worth it. I could see it being one of those ones that would be nice to play on Switch if you have like a commute and you're headed somewhere, like on a bus ride or something.
Right.
It would be nice to just chill out and do, or if you have 10 minutes. And so the levels are only maybe 2 minutes long. It's definitely like a music video level, but there's probably like 30 levels. So you could probably beat it in 2 to 3 hours.
That's cool.
And for listeners, it is on Apple Arcade. So if you sign up for your free month of Apple Arcade, if you have an iPhone, you could play it for free.
Sweet.
And I think it supports a DualShock controller.
What?
Yeah, because the iOS 13 supports DualShock controllers, and so through Bluetooth, And so if you sign up for Apple Arcade, not only you get games like Exit the Gungeon, which is a indirect sequel to Enter the Gungeon, but you can also have like Sayonara Wild Hearts, and I believe it's called This Is Golf, which is, it advertises itself as a game for people who don't like golf. And so I'm probably going to sign up for my free month of that, because some of the games on there are easily top tier. And I think This Is Golf is coming to the Switch in December, maybe November, December. And Sayonara Wild Hearts is obviously on all three platforms. And instead of paying $7 or $8, you can just play for a free month on Apple and try it out if you're hesitant of it. But I would recommend it. So anyway, that's what I've been playing. I know it was a lot. I rambled a little bit, but that's what I've been playing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend that.
Also, let me just say, it's usually a lot with you.
It is, because you know what it is? I've gotten into this mode now where I'm kind of like ADD with my gaming. Mm-hmm. I can't, other than Code Vein, a game has to really stick with me to keep me, and sometimes it's out of frustration, I think, too, because like Code Vein and Remnant from the Ashes and Cuphead and Astral Chain are all very similar in that you will get frustrated. They are very tough games. You will die multiple times in them. I mean, you know how that is with Cuphead. And so I can't play 4 of those games in a row and not have something else like Blood Hockey or Sayonara Wild Hearts to balance out the frustration, right?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, all right. Well, let's move into In Case You Missed It. Just in case you missed it this week, we'll talk about some news.
Ooh, sweet.
All right. So this is In Case You Missed It. Sorry, I had to get some coffee flowing through me here. So first thing I want to talk about is a game that I'm personally super excited for. Was supposed to launch anyway, Q1 of 2020, because, you know, nothing else is coming out. Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Last of Us Part 2, Doom Eternal. Nothing else is coming out Q1 of 2020. But Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is not going to do so anymore.
Smart move.
As stated... Huh?
Smart move.
Yeah, very smart move. It'll still launch at some point next year, but as stated in the team's latest blog post, they didn't want to repeat the same mistakes that were made with the original title's launch. So despite improving the process and growing the studio with more and more staff through 2019, Andy Kipling and Brian Misoto both agreed that the simulator of vampire nature needed more time in development. And so it'll probably release right before next gen PS5. I actually would rather they just up-res it a bit and just make it a PS5 launch title.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At this point. But they probably won't. It won't matter. It's backwards compatible, so maybe it'll just have some sort of natural up-resing anyway. But I just thought I'd share that, because apparently that is going to be the nice little delay that game needs, I think. Because that game is just... bad timing, right? Like normally you would think nothing of it, but I've looked at it and I was like, oh, and that's one of those games and that's the problem. The original game I never played, and so this one looks really good, and I thought, well, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then when I saw the release day, I was like, well, no, I won't. Right? And you and I both know what happens when a game comes out around something else big that we want to play. It gets put on the back shelf and then probably never gets touched.
No, right? Rob, we would never do that.
I know. Well, actually, yeah, I know, right? That's why it took me so long to get Vampire played, because it came out around the same time as other stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy this, no problem. Okay, no problem. And then I never played it. So that's why Days Gone is still sitting here unopened, because I bought that on a sale and still haven't played it. So, this one caught me by surprise. Tell me what you think of this. I thought this would be an awesome move on her part and Sony's part, but Ghostwire Tokyo creative director Akumi Nakamura, which you might remember her from Tango Gameworks E3 2018 presentation, when she danced up on stage a little bit and was super excited about her game, Ghostwire Tokyo. And then she parted ways with the studio and no one understood why. Well, recently she's been photographed hanging out with a few people that we may know. So she may have had dinner recently with one Shuhei Yoshida. And she's also been photographed with a couple other Cory Barlog, a couple other PlayStation family members, I guess would be the word to put.
Big wigs,
and
maybe?
Huh?
Would maybe big wigs be the word you're looking for?
Maybe, but I mean, Cory Barlog's big wig of Sony Santa Monica, right? Not necessarily within Sony.
Okay, yeah,
but
true,
of
true,
that
true.
studio.
True.
And so, Shuhei's different too, right? But she did have dinner with him recently. And so it started a bit of a little frenzy on, I guess, Twitter, that hoping that she maybe would join Sony. And I think it would be great because since Sean Layden left and we really don't, and Shuhei seems to be locked away in a vault somewhere, we really don't have a face of PlayStation for their advertising and for their, because Layden was out there and Shuhei was out there for a while. Everybody knew their names. They're associated with the brand. Jack Trenton was last gen, right? And then he had, Kevin Butler back in the day. I would love to see her be the face of Sony. She's energetic, she's adorable, and it would just work out nicely. So,
For sure.
I mean, that would be a big snag from their part because everybody remembers her from E3. But we'll see. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting and just thought I would put that in this week because even though it was just rumor and people go nuts on Twitter and everything, it seemed to catch the attention of a few publication sites. 2K Sports wrestling games have always been a bad joke for a while, but especially the wrestling games. But Yuke no longer is working on the franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, Visual Concepts, I believe, is the company that's now working on it, if I remember correctly. And have you seen any of the screenshots of WWE 2K20?
No, I have not.
It looks like a PlayStation 2 game.
Really?
And so apparently...
On purpose?
Apparently from what I read was that when they traded this over to this other studio, naturally the other studio didn't necessarily give them all the assets that they had. And so they had to start from the ground up, but they were still expected to make WWE 2K20 within the year or the 9 months turnaround cycle. And so apparently they did not have enough time to work on it, and it looks like garbage. And that's no offense to any of them. It's just, unfortunately, it looks like they could have used another year to finally finish the models. It looks like they were hastily put together. And so kind of a bad spot to be in, but it looks like the spot that they are in, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So a little bit of a painful thing for them, unfortunately, but, hopefully they'll bounce back next year. Anyway.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Sony's annual PlayStation Awards ceremony highlights the year's best-selling software in the company's homeland. This year's event has now been dated for the 3rd of December and will recognize Asia's best-performing PS4 games. And so the User's Choice Award is one of the ones you can vote on, but most of the awards are based on sales. And so you can imagine, based on that, if you think about Sony PlayStation games this year, and we'll talk about sales here in a minute, you can imagine which games may be winning some of those. Moving on, Matt. I know you were excited about this, so we'll touch on this. Fortnite, apparently.
Hey-o.
2 big things happened with Fortnite this week. One, it came back online with its Chapter 2 content with a 9 gigabyte update on PS4. And the first chapter, of course, that you play is designed as more of an introduction to the game than anything else because the majority of the 99 players are actually AI-controlled robots. And the idea would be the more you play, the less computer-controlled characters there will be. And so your first game back after 2 days of downtime is supposed to be filled with bots, making up the majority of the player count, even if you're a veteran. And so Fortnite Chapter 2 came back on. That was big news this week. The other big news was that Lady Gaga tweeted out, "What is Fortnite?" Did you see that?
I did, yeah. She also said, "Who are you?" about to Ninja.
Yeah. I can't tell if she's expertly trolling or if she's serious.
I don't know. I feel like she's serious, to be honest.
Probably. What do you think of season 2 so far? I mean, you are the resident Fortnite player.
I mean,
has it caught your attention?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, I've enjoyed what I've played of it. I will say, I was talking to friends at work, and the one guy was like super mad about it. And he's like, "Oh, these bots are just like they never miss a shot." I'm like, he's like, "Me and my friend got so frustrated playing the game that we quit." I was like, "Dude, the bots aren't that good. Like, there's no way that was a bot that just took you out like that. Like, the bots aren't good." Because I played it on my phone. Like, the very first game I played, I played on my phone. And then the second game I played on my phone, I had like 9 kills and I won the game. I sent you those screenshots.
Yeah.
And I was just like shocked. Like, I think I've won in the whole time that I've been playing Fortnite. I think I've won on my phone once, ever.
Yeah.
Now the guy
you beat those bots real good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the guy that was in the very end, like the guy that I was like, it was like 1v1 at the very end there. He was definitely not a bot. There was no way that he was a bot, because he was like, he didn't have a default skin or anything like that, and he was kind of like peeking. He was like jumping up and down and like trying to like shoot me over his builds and stuff like that. So there was no way that he was a bot. So I got at least one legit kill, but but no, I mean, I don't know. I think I was talking to my friend earlier today about it, and I think it's good. It's smart of them to do that for people who are new to the game, people who have no clue what the hell's going on or how to play it. So, if it recognizes that you're new to the game, then it starts you off with a bunch of bots, right? And you kind of go through as much as you can, and you kind of build that skill level. Now, the other thing that's good about the bots is the fact that you can jump right into another game from the game that you just got killed in or won. Like, that's a new feature. You don't have to go back into the lobby anymore.
Oh, nice.
So just like on Rocket League, how we just start a new game, you can do the same exact thing on Fortnite. You just hit a button and you jump right into the next game. It obviously takes load time, obviously, but instead of having to go back into the lobby, wait for the loading screen for the lobby, choose, start again, and then wait for the loading screen for the next thing. All you're doing, they cut out that middleman part, and you can just restart into a new game.
Oh, nice.
Which I think is a really great feature. Keeps people playing. It's definitely good for new people, who don't get it or aren't that good at it. But yeah, I mean, even with the bots, I mean, there's still going to be people in the match that are, 1, not as good as you, and 2, just new to the game, right?
Right.
Especially,
it's
a
based
brand
on
new
skill
map.
level now.
Say again?
It's supposed to be more based on skill level now.
Yeah. And then I don't know, I haven't been able to...
Pretty standard, I feel like.
Yeah. I also haven't been able to confirm this, but he was telling me that on their actual, on the Chinese servers, apparently you can quit the match and win still if you have the most kills. Because that way then what happens is the people that are still left in the game and only have a kill or 2, they're not going to get picked off by this awesome guy that happens to be in this lobby, right?
Right.
So I guess at some point, you'd be like, "Oh, you have the most kills. You can exit now with a win," which I think is crazy and kind of smart, because then it kind of like the bots, it kind of keeps people playing instead of getting, angry at some sweaty tryhard that's killed 30 people. You know what I mean?
That technical term, sweaty tryhard.
Oh, that's the official term. That's not a technical term. That's the official term.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so, it is kind of nice to see the kind of changes they're making. I like the fact that when you dive into the game for the first time, you don't know, the map is not unlocked. You have to go to each of these areas to unlock the map.
Right.
Obviously, you can go to the areas, but they don't show up on your map, which is cool. And apparently, even the images, if you pull up your mini map, you can't even screenshot. I don't think. I think it's been hard. I think one of the streamers I watched said it's been hard to kind of pull up a map for people because it kind of defaults to not telling you what's what. Which is interesting.
Okay. That is interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like it. I think it's a very, there are a couple game-breaking glitches already.
Right.
There's one, I just found out about one today and I'm sure it'll be patched by the time this comes out, but
podcast goes live. Yeah.
There's this one area where you can gain health in like this little swamp because it's like, I don't know, it's like a mutated swamp basically. And all you have to do is kind of like swim in the river and you gain like double health. Well, apparently if you put a wall up and just run into the wall the whole time, it just instantly recharges all your health. So you can stay there the whole match. And then, when the final circle closes and there's nowhere else for people to go, then you win because your health regenerates faster than the person that's, was at the center of the storm and trying to survive.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure that'll be patched out very shortly. A game-breaking glitch like that is something that they won't tolerate, I'm sure. But
it makes sense.
But yeah, no, I mean, I want you and I to jump into it because I think it'll be a lot of fun. And obviously, you haven't played in a while, so there will definitely be bots in there for us.
I'll probably enjoy it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So sounds good. Sounds like it's worthwhile for those who are playing. So good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
It's smart of them too. Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Get people back into it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of the lure and part of what they've done wisely here is they've amazingly waited so long to update a map that, Apex Legends did it before them, and Apex Legends came out, 2 years after them?
Yeah, exactly.
And so
you gotta keep with the times.
Yeah, and so they're finally moving forward. So good for them. All right. So let's move on. This one really caught my eye. This is probably my favorite news story of the whole week, to be honest with you, because I just, every time I read it, it makes me smile. In a lengthy and impressively detailed, and this is via Push Square, via Eurogamer, in an impressively detailed interview over on Eurogamer, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt lead writer Jacob Selzmelik opened up about development of CG Projekt Red's masterful role-playing game. He apparently said that while they admit that they thought they told some great stories and stuff like that, no one on the writing team wanted to pen the title's sex scenes, and Geralt's and Yennefer's emotionally charged dialogue on Skellige was initially acted out using the default fisherman character models. And so it took a lot of time and effort. But what I really found super interesting about this is that they said they had to plan out the entire experience on paper. They documented all the branching narrative paths basically on paper. And he said, quote, "We had a lot of tables and trees and diagrams and Post-it notes trying to build the whole picture, but it was extremely difficult." And then he went on to say that we were actually very worried we didn't have enough content. We were seriously concerned there weren't enough quests, enough dialogue sequences. There wasn't enough to keep the player busy. And I was like, excuse me?
Can I just say GTFO to that guy? Because I think I stopped playing it because I was like, there's just too much here. There's no way I'm going through all this crap.
You are not the only one. Multiple people quit playing it because there was just way too much going on. And he said that obviously we were hugely mistaken because the density of the experience is not lacking. But it was so hard to assess it when the game was still being made. What people outside the industry don't always appreciate is a game is constructed from so many pieces you don't see the final product. And so they had no idea, based on what they were doing, that the final product was going to be that big.
Right.
They were just concerned from their end going, oh, guys, I don't think we got enough. We have like 30 quests or, 60 quests. What if that's not enough? What if people were like, oh, only 60 quests, whatever it was. I have no idea. But
Sure.
I really wanted to throw that in there. Oh, little did they know. And so what's funny about that is I wonder if they kind of learned a lesson, and with Cyberpunk, they're like, no, you know what, guys, we got enough. We figured it out this time.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I mean, I'm not saying that it'll be bad because there's too much content, but I mean, it's packed with that quarter is packed with games. Like, how are we going to play a 300-hour game? 300 to platinum probably. If if there's that many other games coming out that time. So
yeah. So I'm excited to see, how it turns out and what it's like. But I really appreciated that. And if you haven't played The Witcher 3, shame on you. At least go try it, because it is probably one of the games of this generation, and was, I think, really, really fantastic. So, all right. So that's all I wanted to hit on that one. Speaking of developers, of course, Guerrilla Games. You may recognize them from the group that brought you Horizon Zero Dawn and the Killzone series. They are hard at work behind the scenes and have been for a number of years. And one of Sony's key first-party studios, presumably, is prepping a sequel to the aforementioned Horizon Zero Dawn. And so news of the company's latest trip to Swedish motion capture facilities raised eyebrows. They tweeted out, "Hello, Stockholm. We've come for your mocaps." So I think, and I'm just going to throw this out there right now, I think that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is a launch title. Or they're shooting for it to be. I don't know if it'll happen. I think they are shooting for that.
Dude, no one would wait to buy a machine.
No, I wouldn't. And they know that. I personally think they're going to have a hard time selling us on purchasing a new. I just can't imagine them saying, "Here's the reason why you should buy a new PlayStation, and here's a couple of indie games, and here's a multiplayer game.
Right.
So why don't you let go of your PS4 that has been the most successful machine behind our PS2 and go ahead and buy this new $600 machine, right? Or $500 machine. We'll say 500. I'm going to go with 500, right? Because I don't think it'll be more than that. I think they know better. But I do think they can go, or, and here's where they really could do it. Here's $500. Give us $500. You get a bundle. This and Horizon Zero Dawn 2 bundled together.
I mean, they're not going to do that, but
would you not buy one day one?
Oh, I mean
you and I are going to buy one day one anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. Duh. I mean, we don't have a PlayStation podcast without buying new PlayStations. That's a stupid question, basically. But I mean, going back to what I've predicted before, is they'll probably have a $400 version and a $500 based on the hard drive. So I don't know. I just don't think, obviously that's a good money grab, but I mean, don't they make more off the software and not the hardware?
Yes.
So to price cut it like that would be idiotic at best.
It would be.
Now, say they have a Horizon Zero Dawn 2 PlayStation 5. That would make sense, like a special edition PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it would.
And people would definitely buy that, especially if it's so close to the release date of the actual PlayStation 5. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, how long would Horizon... I mean, I would imagine they would have started developing it pretty soon after the fact that they realized how good of a game it was going to be, at release, right?
Right.
So what's that development cycle then? 3 years?
Yeah, we're about due for one.
Say again?
I said we're about due for one.
Yeah. So I mean, I could certainly see it coming out then. Although I kind of want to be surprised about it. You know what I mean?
We all do.
I kind of want them to be like, I want it to be like a throwaway thing. Like for the people who have it, like I want them to release pre-orders for the PS5, and then like a week or two later be like, oh hey, by the way, Horizon Zero Dawn's coming out the same day.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, at the very least, it's smart of them to do like a second wave like that, because get the initial people that are definitely going to buy a PlayStation 5 to pre-order it, right? And then the people that then you, like a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month later, you say, hey, oh, by the way, we're going to release Horizon Zero Dawn with it. And then you get all those people that were on the fence about maybe should I buy it? Should I not buy it? Boom. And then you have millions more of pre-orders.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all, I guess. I don't know. Either way, I think it sounds great.
It's okay, Sony. Just call me for some marketing ideas. I got you.
I would love to have, I think it would be great either way to have Horizon Zero Dawn as one of our release games.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Games. And here's what you have to do. You cannot make it cross-gen. You cannot make it a cross-gen game. You got to make it a PS5 only game. Not one of those, buy a PS. Don't shoot yourself in the foot, Sony. Do not.
No. You want the future of gaming to continue in the next generation. You don't want to, shoot yourself in the foot by be like, I guess you could put it on PS4 too. No.
Yeah. I hope they talk like that in their meetings.
Oh, right? 100% they do. There's definitely at least one guy that's like, well, what if we did this, guys? Do you think that'd be a really good idea? I'm like, Jim, why do we still let you in these meetings?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so let's keep going.
Yep.
Speaking of games coming out and then re-releasing and what generation they're on, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I've seen it on sale so many times, and I keep wanting to pick it up just to finish off the trilogy. And it came and went last September, but apparently the DLC was very good. And apparently, starting next month, you'll be able to purchase the base game along with all DLC content in one transaction, as the definitive edition is coming both digital and physical to PS4 on the 5th of November.
Ooh.
And so I may just hold off because I've got enough to play. It includes every new side mission, weapon, skill, and outfit. Season Pass owners will have their copy of the game automatically upgraded to the definitive edition, although it doesn't actually come with any extra goodies. So that's cool. But if you have been holding off on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like me, now's your chance next month. All right. A game that you and I both loved. I finished, you didn't. And if you finished it, you'd actually love it. The post-launch support of Control is continuing on. 1.04 update came and brought with it photo mode, allowing you to snap in-game shots of Jessie taking down the Hiss or making use of her abilities. Also, so it has 10 different filters to edit pictures you can take. You can even remove the protagonist. But also, apparently there's an expedition update coming to Control before the year is out. So anyone who owns Control will be getting the challenging expedition mode. This is straight from one of the devs and the community manager, I should say, Vita Starcevic. Jessie will need to complete different objectives within a set time to get powerful rewards, but be on your guard. Every expedition that Jessie undertakes will come with different modifiers to make the encounter extra tricky. So if you were itching for more combat and you wanted some stylized combat where maybe you can't fly or, they limit one of your abilities, guess what?
It's coming.
It's coming. You get your wish.
Can I just say real quick, I'm so mad at myself right now because not only have I not finished it yet, but it's on sale for like $33 on Amazon right now as well.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a perfect time to pick it up too.
I know. So for those of you who are listening, hopefully the sale will still be on. I think it's listed as like $44.99, but there's some weird extra like $11.50 coupon or something like that brings it down to like 33 and some change. So, yeah, a little upset that I could have waited, but it's 100% worth 33. It was definitely worth the money that I paid for it. However, if you're like, man, I don't know. If you're like Jim in the boardroom giving out bad ideas as to why you shouldn't pick up the game, $33 is a great reason to pick up the game.
Oh, absolutely. And it really was a fantastic game. Like I cannot emphasize enough how much I loved it.
Yeah, I think part of the problem for me is like I'm a slow reader and there's just so much lore to pick up in that game.
Yes, there's
so many like redacted files that you're like picking up and I'm trying to read to like get myself more knowledge about the world and what's going on around me. That just takes a while for me.
It does. But it easily was one of the best games that didn't sell well, I thought. Best games of this year that deserved more credit.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I would definitely consider it if I was anyone out there who's been on the fence.
Yep.
So, okie dokie. Gosh. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, okay. Here we go. So, let's continue on. This is kind of one of the last pieces of news we'll touch on. And I saved it for last because it's one of my games of the generation. During an interview with GameSpot Brazil, which had been translated by Reset Era user G Braga, From Software's Miyazaki was asked which one of the games he has worked on is his favorite. After comparing it to choosing which of your children you think is prettiest, he says Bloodborne stayed in his heart the most. Quote, I believe I did it my way, the way I wanted. So it was pretty clear that he likes it. And he also acknowledges that it wasn't perfect in the interview, saying, quote, I'd have improved on the Chalice dungeons and the blood gems that I wish were a bit more detailed, worked more thoroughly. I see the possibility of adding more to it. So this, of course, only fuels the desire for people to get a Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, right. Of course.
And so we'll see.
Let him do what he wants and make a Bloodborne 2.
Right?
I mean, for not liking a Souls game, I thought Bloodborne was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a From Software fan because of the gameplay. It's not my cup of tea. I hate the brutal thing of having to go through all the same stupid guys just to get to where I'm going again. However, it was still very well done, and the lore of the actual game was very intriguing.
Yes. It really was a fantastic game, and I would highly recommend it to anybody. It's clearly one of his favorites, and so I don't know why you're even hesitating. If you're listening to this podcast and haven't played it, you should probably go download it.
Exactly.
And then, in fact, you should probably not listen to this podcast again until you've played it. Don't do that, please.
But say you're cutting off all our very own our already few viewers or listeners, rather.
Yeah. So, but no, it is one of those ones that I think is excellent. That it's hard to explain how good it really is to somebody, and so yeah.
Cool.
So that's going to wrap it up for in case you missed it.
That is. It's going to wrap it up.
Yeah. And so...
is that going to wrap it up for the podcast, Rob? No, because we're going to come back.
We are going to come back. We are going to take care of the blog for you. I do want to throw in one other thing that I apologize. I did forget about.
Ugh, Rob.
I'm going to throw it in here. Well, because I just pulled it up today. And it was the software sales. It literally was posted 14 minutes ago on one of the sites I look at. And so...
okay, I guess.
Yeah. So NPD Software Top 20 of September 2019. I just want to run through some of these and tell me if there's any shockers on here for you. Number one, NBA. This is going 1 through, we'll go like 1 through 20. NBA 2K20, Borderlands 3, FIFA 20, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Madden NFL 20, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Gears 5, Code Vein, NHL 20, Mario Kart 8, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5, Super Smash Bros. Ult, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Red Dead Redemption 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Plant vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, Marvel's Spider-Man, Catherine Full Body, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
Any surprises in there?
Well, we talked about before the podcast, Code Vein for sure. But there was another surprise at I don't know, it was like 8 or 9. I couldn't. So you were listening to Monster Fest. I couldn't.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I was just doing it just so you could hear them all. Code Vein was 8. Was it after Code Vein?
No, it was before Code Vein.
Was it Ghost Recon?
Yes, that was super surprising.
Number 6.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I thought that sold crap.
I thought it did too, but apparently not. I was actually a little surprised to see Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 years later. Right?
Well, I mean, the other
and maybe
Zelda
that's
game,
because Link's Awakening.
Exactly.
Maybe.
I'm sure there was a resurgence because of Link's Awakening for sure.
Yeah. Now, I do want to rattle off this. PS4 software top 10 of September 2019. NBA 2K20, Borderlands 3, FIFA 20, Madden 20, Ghost Recon Break, number 5. NHL 20 at number 6, Code Vein at number 7, so clearly sold better on PS4 than it did right anywhere else. Marvel Spider-Man, Catherine Full Body, Minecraft. You know what's missing from that list?
What?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Surprise. That's
finally.
I think that's the most shocking to me.
Yes. Now,
that's missing.
NPD's best-selling games of 2019 so far. So far, up through last month, the best-selling game of the year for several months had been Mortal Kombat 11.
Right.
What do you think's number one now?
Mortal Kombat 11.
No, it's NBA 2K20.
Oh, okay.
Already.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then Mortal Kombat 11, Borderlands 3. So that jumped up there very quickly. Madden NFL 20, Kingdom Hearts 3, Division 2, Anthem, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Still on the yearly one.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was a little crazy too.
Well, you just added one, so I'm going to add one. This just in, according to my email.
Isn't that how that goes? That little just in.
Yeah, exactly. The Last of Us Part 2 release date revealed. I don't understand why I got an email literally an hour ago about that.
Oh, you confused me. I was like, are you trolling us right now? You were.
I was 100% trolling you right now. Why was that like the headline? Did people not know about it? Did they live under a rock for the past 2 weeks?
They must have.
Just in case you were in a coma, here's an email letting you know.
Interesting. Well, thanks for that fake news.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's
all right.
News. It's fake news.
So, we'll come back for the blog here in a moment. And, it'll be a moment for you. It'll be like days for us.
Oh, days. Yep. Also, Rob will have to give me, I really liked that trophy name game thing. So Rob's going to have to give me a game. Think of a game in the next day or two. I'm going
to, for next week, I will scout out something for PSN profiles and find something that has some worthwhile
What do you mean next week?
Trophies.
2 days. You got 2 days, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll wrap it in. Deal. Sold. All right, Matt. It's time that we're going to start to wrap things up here with See You Soon. So let's go ahead and jump into that, shall we? All right. So, we knew this was a busy week coming up. We kind of had that feeling because of several big name games coming out. But goodness, I did not realize that everybody and their mother was going to release a game this week. So
that's true.
We're going to talk about that and go through these as quick as we can so we can wrap this up for you today.
All righty. Yeah. There's so many games that we're not going to do the medieval trophies. We'll do that next week. But
yeah. We'll save that.
I know we said that we were going to do it, but there's just too many to go through.
Yeah. Would you like to start or would you like me to start this week?
You know what? Let's go back to our old habits. I'll start first, Robert.
Sounds good to me.
All right. We got Battle Planet Judgment Day. PS4 digital out 10/23. Battle Planet Judgment Day is a planetary roguelite top-down shooter. You are one of the universe's 3 most wanted criminals on the run, fighting your way through hordes of aliens, military, and police units. There is only one way to reclaim your freedom. Destroy them all. Ooh.
I'm not going to lie. That sounds interesting if it wasn't the week that it was coming out. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, of course.
Because I do like my rogue lights and I also like top-down shooters. So
I was about to say, those are
a good combo for
100%. Me. That's like, as soon as I read those words, it's like, this is Rob's favorite game right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Just too much, too much coming out this week.
True.
So let's continue on here. Beholder 2. Looking kind of creepy. You are a newly employed department officer within the Ministry of a totalitarian state. While you are poised to have an illustrious career and possibly become prime minister someday, the way up won't be easy. So, how high up the career? Something just popped up. How high up the career ladder will you climb? Garbage computer. No one knows for sure. So,
The choice is yours to make, as it says at the end. Well, I figured I'd help you out there since you're having a little technical difficulties on your end.
Technical difficulties with a damn Acer. Whatever.
All right. Up next, PSVR getting shown some love. Bonfire, PSVR digital. Be the star of an absurd alien adventure with Ali Wong in an animated survivor story of trust and friendship. You're Scout 817 of Space Force, but you've just crashed on an alien planet. Your only tools for survival are a fading bonfire, a robot, and a limited supply of marshmallows. And what's that sneaking around in the dark alien jungle? Now, is that Ali Wong, the comedian? Do you think?
I don't know. That would be very bizarre if it was. I would be very shocked.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
I don't think it is.
I'm gonna look it up while you read the next one.
All right, so let's continue on, shall we? I think I've heard of this one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is out this week. Prepare to go dark. Modern Warfare is back. The stakes have never been higher as players take on the role of the lethal Tier 1 operators in a heart-racing saga that will affect the global balance of power. Infinity Ward delivers an epic reimagining of the iconic Modern Warfare series from the ground up.
Ooh,
all right, your time's up. Did you figure it out?
Wow. It does say Ali Wong to star in VR project.
All right. Well,
let me see.
Good for her.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me skip this stupid ad. Yeah, definitely the comedian. All right. Lead voice in Bonfire. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Branching out, doing something different. Being the voice for a video game. Good for her. I like her comedy. She's very funny. All right. Up next, we have Cat Quest 2 PS4 digital out 10/24. Cat Quest 2 is a 2D open world action RPG set in a fantasy realm of cats and dogs. Under threat from a continuing war between the cats of Felingard and the advancing dogs of the Lupus Empire, Cat Quest 2 tells the tale of two kings brought together against their will on a possum journey to reclaim their thrones. Possum. That was pretty good.
Very punny.
PAW-SOME. Possum.
Clever them. Clever girls.
Right.
All right. Dark Devotion out 10/24. Explore the secrets of a mysterious fallen temple and put your Templar faith to the test in Dark Devotion, where no sacrifice is too great in praise of your God. Measure your devotion and your bravery by journeying into the deepest darkness for answers to questions that will challenge your very existence.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm a little bit confused by this next one, but I guess we'll just go at it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
According to the title, it's called Deep Space Adventure, but according to the box art, it's called Deep Space Rush. So we'll find out in the description, I guess. PS4, PS Vita, digital cross-buy. Join the D Team, a top secret security force that projects the scientific space stations from virus contaminations. Ooh. Take on randomly generated levels to save everyone before they all get infected. Avoid traps and monsters to survive the sweep. Are you ready to protect the space station from biological threats? Well, I guess we didn't get a clearer idea of what the title is, but that's okay.
No, it didn't answer that question, did it?
No, it did not.
All right, well, if you're not interested in Deep Space Adventure Rush, you've got Door Kickers Action Squad. Rescue hostages, disarm bombs, and save the day in this old school side-scroller action game with retro graphics and retro sensibilities. Online and couch co-op included. Choose your gear, then kick the doors down and face the action. And when it gets too hard, bring over a friend to help.
Ooh. Why is one guy in his shorts?
He left his pants at home, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe they got burnt off in the explosion behind him.
Maybe he's going commando.
All right. East Shade, PS4 digital. You are a traveling painter exploring the island of Eastshade. Capture the world on canvas using your artist's easel. Talk to the inhabitants to learn about their lives. Make friends and help those in need. Discover mysteries and uncover secrets about the land. Experience how your actions impact the world around you. That actually sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too shabby. Not too bad at all.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Up next, horror stories. How do you imagine murders are committed by serial killers? You find yourself in one of these situations in which you must not catch the eye of the killer. Find items that can be used to create a trap. Learn how the killer behaves to avoid him and try to survive by killing him.
See, that's the kind of game that makes sense to come out this week no matter what.
That is true. I will give them that. Even if that was not the strongest description I would have, chosen for my said game.
But that's okay. All right, up next we got The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2, not Cloud, Cold
this is a big
Steel
release this
3.
week.
3, I can't even count the numbers. All right, let's try this again.
Yeah.
The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 3. Hey, I got it. All right, PS4 digital retail. Renee Schwarzer uncovers a dark plot that threatens his homeland. Oh, is it Rian? Maybe not Renee.
Rian, I think.
Rian.
Yeah.
R-E-A-N.
I've never played them.
All right. Anyways, to face their enemies, he must prepare a new generation of heroes as an instructor at a new branch campus and guide them towards victory.
That's a pretty big release because they actually just re-released the first two remastered on PS4 a while back.
Oh.
And a lot of people are really looking forward to this one. So, I forgot that was coming out this week, but that's another big one technically.
Yeah. Well, there's another big one that's going to be real big in your area, and it's coming up next.
Let's Sing Country. All begins with the first tone. Create your own spotlight with the hottest tracks in country music, courtesy of Let's Sing Country, and follow in the footsteps of cutting-edge artists.
Ooh. Fun. All right, Lonely Mountains Downhill. PS4 digital out 10/23. Just you and your bike. Take it on a thrilling ride down an unspoiled mountain landscape. Make your way through thick forests, narrow trails, and wild rivers. Race, jump, slide, and try not to crash. All the way from the peak to the valley.
Cool.
I have a feeling that you can definitely crash and burn real quick on that.
Yeah, that looks like, yeah. Looks like an endless runner type one.
Yeah, but in a fun way.
Yeah. All right. Lornes Sword, Winter Chronicle. Lornes Sword is a story-driven action strategy game. As Kurun Lanka, you will have to use both your sword and your mind to cut through battles, fight, lead your men, capture gold mines, build your base, and call a friend to help you at any time.
Ooh.
I do not like how that one was worded. It was like a tongue twister.
Well, up next, I don't know if we need an explanation, but we're going to get one anyways. Medieval.
That's right.
PS4 digital retail out 10/25. This beloved fan favorite has been completely remade from the grave up, blending classic gameplay with stunning visuals. Step into the bones of Sir Daniel Fortesque, a slightly inept and long dead knight accidentally resurrected by his greatest enemy, the evil sorcerer Zorok. Anyways, with a second chance to foil his greatest foe, Dan will once again set out to save the kingdom of Gelomir and earn his place as a true hero. I love how it's just Dan. Sir Dan.
No.
He has such a great name, and they sort of make it the shortest, crappiest part of it.
Now,
could have been like Sir D or
this,
just like.
I thought it was Fortescue, or is it Fortesque?
I mean, it could be Fortescue.
I just always said Dan Fortescue. I don't know. I know Fortesque makes sense in a way because it looks, somewhat French, I guess, in that regard. But I always thought Fortescue was more appropriate with the humor of the game.
I mean,
don't know, maybe I'm
maybe
wrong.
I just thought like kind of like grotesque.
Right, yeah. And that's what, maybe you're right. That's where it's probably the correct way of saying it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a play on grotesque, so I thought Fortesque. But maybe it is Fortescue.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up sometime. All right. Minotaur Arcade Volume 1. Oh, man. Minotaur Arcade Volume 1 brings you 2 arcade-style games in a classic yet modern style. You can even play in VR to get that Tron-esque feeling of being inside an arcade game. Volume 1 comprises 2 classic Llamasoft titles, Grid Runner, an exhilarating shooter, and Goat Up, a fun platformer. That's kind of cool with the VR part of it, actually.
Yeah. All right. Up next, The Outer Worlds. Not to be confused with, what was the last one? What was last week's?
Outer Wilds.
The Outer Wilds, yeah. Oh, man. Anyways, like I confused them. Anyways, The Outer Worlds. PS4 digital retail out $10.25. The Outer Worlds is a new single-player sci-fi RPG from Obsidian Entertainment and Private Division. As you explore the furthest reaches of space and encounter a host of factions all vying for power, who you become will determine the fate of everyone in Halcyon. In the corporate equation. What? Yes, in the corporate equation for the colony, you are the unplanned variable. What?
Yeah,
corporate
I wasn't
equation.
too excited about this. Yeah, and the corporate equation for the colony. So,
I mean, I get it, but that threw me off. I was just like, "What? What is?"
Oh
this?
yeah. I'm really upset because I really want to be excited for that one. I just can't get excited for it.
Really? Why?
I don't know, and that's what's bothering me. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, same guys that did Fallout New Vegas, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I'm
you
like,
loved
whatever,
that,
I'll wait. I did. I loved Fallout New Vegas, and I think they have a couple. They certainly have other games under their belt too, but I just can't. I don't know what it is. I just can't get excited for that one. And I've watched trailer after trailer trying to, I just can't justify it. I'm more excited for Medieval. All right. Anyway, moving on. PBA Pro Bowling.
Ooh.
Lace up your bowling shoes and experience the most realistic bowling simulation ever created with PBA Pro Bowling. Uses accurate pro bowling styles featuring motion captured animations, expert commentary, and dozens of venues and environments.
I don't like that title. It's like super redundant. Because isn't PBA stand for Pro Bowling Association?
It does.
Or Professional Bowlers Association?
It does.
Dumb. Okay.
All right, moving on.
Raging Loop. PSVR Digital. Immerse yourself in a thrilling psychological horror story taking place in the secluded Japanese village of Yasumitsu. A heavy mist surrounds the place, preventing everyone from ever leaving. Ancient gods have come back to hunt the villagers down one by one. The feast has begun! Can you escape the village alive?
All right.
I almost said healthy mist. A healthy mist surrounds the place.
I've never seen a healthy mist.
Yep.
Gotta say that one. All right. Roblox. Roblox is an easy-to-play, fast-action, fierce-fighting robot boxing game with breathtaking graphics. Play against your friends or against the smart, artificial intelligence Roblox player, fighting to knock the opponent out with a devastating final punch and experience the true might of steel.
Ooh. All right.
I think you were looking forward to this next one, weren't you?
I was 100%. Like, this is the one. This is why I went first, because I knew I would get this one. I would get to read this one. Street Outlaws, the list. PS4 digital retail. Fasten your seatbelts and take a ride inside the world of American steel racing and Street Outlaws, the list. From a custom street rod to a race-ready farm truck, the vehicles and their drivers have one thing in common. The Need for Speed. But that game title was already taken. If you're not on the list, you don't matter.
Good stuff.
I love how they literally mention another game in the description.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Need for Speed is a very generic phrase, right?
Sure.
So.
However, I feel like they're using it specifically to be like, hey, this is kind of like Need for Speed. Please buy our game.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. I would agree. All right. Anyway, moving on. WWE 2K20. I still want to say WWF sometimes. All right. Your favorite WWE superstars, legends, Hall of Famers, and next best will join the festivities and celebrate the rebirth of the WWE 2K franchise. 2K invites players to step inside the ring with WWE 2K20, which will feature key gameplay improvements, streamlined controls, and the most fun and creatively expansive entry to date. Not to mention that they only gave them 9 months to start from scratch with this new company.
Well, let me just say that it's not going to be a celebrated rebirth.
No, it's surfaced online some of the images, and people are horrified.
Yeah, exactly. Also, why would you want to say WWF? What's this have to do with World Wildlife Fund?
Yeah, I know, right? Silly me.
All right. Last, but certainly not least, well, maybe least, Yoga Master, PS4 Digital, out 10/23. Yoga Master is the first wellness game of its kind, built entirely in 3D and designed by experts to help you reach the perfect balance between mind and body. With an amazing soundtrack of original music, avatar customization, and BMI calculation, Yoga Master is the ultimate yoga game.
Wow, I actually feel relaxed just from you reading that.
I figured I had to.
Yeah.
Didn't fit the vibe to shout it.
Take a nap now.
You're welcome.
All right. After that Zen moment, that's going to wrap up. See you soon. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us for this week, Matt.
That's it, yeah. Well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, then, since this will be our end here.
Yeah.
Until next time, game on.
Game on. Let's just see here. I wonder if we could just release the thing, the outro music. Maybe the outro music is what the people want to hear. I think that it'd be really good for the outro music to be heard right now.
Jim, get out.
Jim's outro music. Now.